Hey, what's going on today, people? You blogging with Bonafide. Today is Tuesday, April the 12th, 2016. It's a little after 1 o'clock, I think it is. Some shit like that. 1:47 actually, on my tablet. Anyway, um, today's topic, well, it's kind of like a debate versus real versus fake. Uh, Old wrestling versus new wrestling, or wrestling versus boxing. Really, just both of them. I was looking at something or whatever earlier, and I was just like, okay, let me speak on that shit. Wrestling, or as people in the South say, wrestling. To me, when it seemed like it was more real when it was wrestling, which was back in the day. To me, wrestling wasn't really real or more real than what it is now. Like, I'm just basing this upon my lifetime, back in the early 80s or mid to late 80s. Wrestling was still pretty good. So I can only speak on that particular era. I mean, I was born in '74, so can't speak no earlier than in the '80s. But anyway, wrestling back then, if you remember, you had your WCW. Before that, I think it was AWA or something like that. I used to watch that mainly for Ric Flair. Ric Flair, to me, Ric Flair, the nature boy. Ric Flair, to me, in my opinion, is the best wrestler to have ever entered a squared circle. I have always been a Ric Flair fan, and always will be. Um, it's just pretty much, to me, it's his style. It was always his style. As today, they might say his swag or whatever. But it was always his style. I mean, he was just a cool ass dude. He was just real confident. A little cocky a little bit, but he was real confident, and he just style and profile. That was his whole thing. You know, when Ric Flair came around, he talked that talk or whatever it is. I mean, it was almost like a pimp or like a rapper, man, the way he was just speaking or whatever, you knew he meant business, and he had confidence. He had confidence about himself. But he also backed it up when it came to getting in the ring. Ric Flair, infamous for his back slaps or back chops or whatever, man. He was infamous for that shit. Also, his figure four leg lock. I mean, that was his signature trademark, man. I mean, Ric Flair was the shit, and he also was the head of the Four Horsemen. And the Four Horsemen, that group, man, I love the Four Horsemen too, man, because Ric Flair was in it. And then, I don't remember all or the actual. I don't remember the actual original members. From what I remember. I'm gonna tell you the members that I remember. Well, that was crazy. Of course, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Double A, the Enforcer, Ole Anderson. I remember Barry Windham. Who else was I think Lex Luger was a member at one time. Who else? Oh man, it's another one. I can't remember his name. Sid Vicious. I think he was one at one time. I don't remember if he was Sid Vicious when he was over there at the WCW, but I remember him. Who else? Wow. Chris Benoit. Chris Beignet. Chris Benoit. I forget how you pronounce it. But anyway, R.I.P. to Chris Benoit, man. That dude, he was a good dude. He died a few years ago with a freak accident, wrestling accident. I think it was something he was doing up there on the top cage or some shit. He fell off and broke his damn neck. Chris Benoit, the crippler from Canada. He was a bad dude. He was a member of them for a while, and I can't think of any others at the moment. But if y'all can remember any, just drop them in the comment. But whatever. The Four Horsemen, man, they were bad. A bad group, bad organization. They ran a WCW, man. Ric Flair was, I think, about 20-time champion. Majority of the times he went WCW before he went to WWF, which later turned into WWE. We'll get to that in a little bit. So Ric Flair was the man to me, you know. And of course, you know, I had my others that I like. I like Dusty Rhodes, you know, rest in peace to him too. Wahoo McDaniels. Was Wahoo with WCW? I think he was. Wahoo McDaniels, you had now Steve Austin. Before he became Steve Austin, he was Stunning Steve some shit. Maybe Stunning Steve. But anyway, he was like, his character was almost gayish, whatever, when he started with the WCW. You know, because he'd come out there like he was from Hollywood and he was rolling his little film or whatever, this and that. And he had his hair like kind of jacked up way. But, you know, he was bad and I liked him. But I liked him even more once he got to the WWF. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, the style of wrestling then it's like this. In the beginning, I didn't know, but later on, I found out that, okay, wrestling is semi-fake. Let's put it like that. Just the whole art of wrestling is semi-fake. I say semi because, you know, wrestling is an actual skill. It's a sport. So you have to have some skill when you take up that profession. It's just a given. I mean, you have to know what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you will hurt someone or hurt yourself. So you have to know what you're doing. So it's real in that sense. But I think the fake part about it, I think it's more like scripted. Some things are scripted. Because sometimes you can look at some of them like, you know, watch a match back then. And you're like, hey, I know he's gonna kick his ass. I know he's gonna kick his ass. Or better yet, it was this guy. I think it was Barry something. I forget his name. But it's like they had it where he made his career off of losing. Because I remember every day, like every day, like going back to school after the WCW was on air over the weekend, and people were talking about it. Like, yeah, Barry. I want to say Barry Switzer. No, he might be a football coach, but I know he was Barry something. But this guy, he was like damn near 0-100, and he just made a career out of it because everybody knew when you wrestled this guy, you was going to be guaranteed a win. He was just that sorry, man. He had little skills, but it's like, you know, when he came close to winning, he always fuck up some kind of way, and he lose, man. But I knew with that, I'm like, there's no possible way that this grown ass man can lose every fucking match. I can see you losing one or two every now and then, but all the time, come on, man. But anyway, that was crazy as hell, man. But you know, that and a few other events. Oh yeah, I can't. Before I get off of WCW, I can't forget about Tony Atlas and Ron Simmons. Before they switched over to WWF, Tony Atlas was the man. I mean, Ron Simmons, the man. You know, they made great contributions to wrestling. I don't know if they're still living or not. I'm gonna have to look that up. But if they're not, rest in peace to them. But Harlem Heat, remember Harlem Heat? They started out over in WCW. I liked them, Stevie Ray and Booker T. Harlem Heat, man, they was good. They was good. And the Macho Man, yeah. Rest in peace to the Macho Man. I love the Macho Man. You know, he was a cool ass dude, man. He didn't take no shit either, man. I love the Macho Man. You know, that dude, he was, man, he was awesome, man. And that elbow drop, man, he had, man, it was good as hell, man. But I'm just happy, man, because I'm just reminiscing back in the day with wrestling, man, with WCW. But then, you know, a lot of people, they was into the WWF. You know, I watched them too. And to me, it just wasn't as good as WCW. It was just, I guess you could say, maybe in some sense more entertaining with the characters. Because, okay, of course, you know, WWF, you can't talk about WWF or WWE without talking about Hulk Hogan. I give Hulk Hogan credit where credit is due. You know, between him and Ric Flair, wrestling, they own that shit, man, back in the 80s. They owned it. The 80s / 90s, they owned it. You know, Hulk Hogan, he did a lot of good things, man. Terry Boller, Hulk Hogan. I had to drop his real name, but anyway, Hulk Hogan, you know, with him and his leg dropping, him and his whatever, man, he just got the crowd into it, man. Hulk Hogan, yeah, that was a good dude, man. You know, back in the day, he was a little bit bigger than what he is now. I mean, he's still a big ass dude, but he just seemed a little bit bigger then. You know, you had him, you had Andre the Giant, rest in peace, Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, I loved Andre the Giant because he was a big dude, man. He was a big dude, scary. He kicked damn near everybody's ass or whatever. The only person I can remember ever beating him was damn Hulk Hogan. I can't remember too many other people that ever beat Andre the Giant. But Andre died, yeah. And I still to this day, and that's another thing, I don't know if that was scripted too, about supposedly being his son. Damn. What the hell is his name? Cause I liked him. I want to say not the Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man was supposed to be like an ex-sheriff or whatever from my state, from Cobb County, Georgia, man. But Big Show, was it the Big Show? It might not have been the Big Show. No, it wasn't the Big Show. Even though I liked the Big Show, and the Big Show, I really enjoyed the Big Show when he was with WWF. I really enjoyed him. He was like my favorite over Hulk Hogan. Really, he was my favorite. But it was another guy, I can't remember his name, and it was like saying that he was Andre the Giant's son because he was so big like him or whatever, this and that. Can't remember his name at the moment. Maybe y'all can help me out. You had others. You had Jimmy Superfly Snooker. You had I like the Bushwhackers. They just crazy as hell. Oh yeah, also that came over from WCW. You had Legion of Doom. You had Hawk and Animal. I liked the hell out of those dudes, man. They were good dudes. Oh, you Roddy Piper. You had who else? I got somebody in head I'm thinking about. I said something about Legion of Doom. It's another group that reminded me of them. They was also in the W. Did oh yeah, damn. Because like when they was in the WCW, they had this theme or character or style where they were like they wore the traditional wrestling uniforms to represent the colleges that they went to, because one of them went to University of Michigan. I got the face in my head, but I can't remember the name. I want to say Mike Rotundo or something like that for one of them. I think his name was it. He went to Syracuse or whatever, and I think he had another one. But they kept up with that thing. But their skills was good as hell, man. They was good as hell. But to me, in the WWF, it really, really did seem more scripted. It really, really did seem more scripted. I mean, it's just, and it boils all the way down to today's time or whatever, you know, with today's wrestling, which I don't even look at. Okay, for one thing, I don't even damn know who these new people are. And when I have tried to look at it or even turn past it, I'm like, what the hell is that? What the fuck is that? What is these guys with this booty old shit or whatever this is? These guys, some black guys, they are they gay or something? What the hell is that's what I take from they like they gay or some shit, man. I don't know who the hell these guys is. I mean, where the hell did that come with wrestling? Even though Dustin Rhodes, you know, he was manly or whatever, this and that back in the WCW, but then toward the end with this here gold kiss shit, he came to WWF with that, where he was acting like he was gay and whatever. He was all dressed in all gold and gold glitter, but he still had the same wrestling skills, the same style, where he was kicking folks' ass, but you know he do some crazy shimmer shit and what I mean, it was crazy as hell, man. How they had Dustin Rhodes, they shouldn't even had that dude like that, man. Whatever. I was just thinking about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, he was a good dude too, man. Junkyard Dog, rest in peace. But today it really is entertainment. It really is just strictly entertainment. And to me, it's some skill that's still there. Cut off, damn it. It's some skill that's still there, but it to me is more of a show where it just doesn't seem real at all. It really doesn't seem real at all. It just seems like a freaking soap opera or some type of shit. But anyway, I just wish that they would get back to the days of the old where it was more wrestling. It seemed more real than what it is now. I mean, I'm sure it's still a big business or whatever, this and that, but these kids these days, they're thinking that that's really wrestling, and it's not. It's bullshit, really. But y'all guys are entertained by it, so more power to you. Now, wrestling versus boxing. I heard a comment, whatever, from somebody that, you know, boxing is played out. That it's whatever, this and that, you know, wrestling got boxing. I would say wrestling has boxing mostly, like I said, because it's really a truly an art form now. I mean, it just takes a lot away from the actual wrestling to just putting on a show. Boxing hasn't played out, but it probably will be more so now because, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know who the damn heavyweight of the champion is anymore. It's I don't even think it's an American. I think it's that Russian dude that I can't remember his name. It used to be a time, you know, we always knew that the heavyweight champion of the world was an American, and we knew who the hell they were. These days, I don't know who the hell the damn heavyweight champion of the world, and it got to the point where that it wasn't even focused on that anymore. As you know, it was focused on the middleweight, super middleweight, with Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. I don't know why he don't use the junior, because you're a junior. Use it. Even though we know who we're talking about, or when somebody say something, but still, you're a junior. Your daddy was good. He was good. He never actually made or became champion, but he did fight for it with Sugar Ray Leonard, which I feel like he should have won that fight. I seen the old footage of it. He should have won that fight. But, you know, it's a boxing family with his uncles. I mean, you know, they were champions. Uncles, because I would say, yeah, can't think of their names at a minute, but the two of them, one of them, he coaches like for the UFC thing now, or whatever. He coaches a lot of people for that. Jeff Mayweather. And the other one, that with boxing was training with him or whatever. Anyway, but he was a champion too at one point in the weight class. So he come from, I mean, Floyd gave the sport he gave the sport something. I can't quite put my finger on it exactly what it was, but he gave it something that we were entertained to watch him, because it's like you got all this skill, and he was like doing it effortlessly. He was just kicking people's ass. Now, a lot of them say, okay, a lot of those fights he shouldn't have won. Okay, I'm a fan of his, but honestly, yeah. Some of them he probably shouldn't have, but he did. He came out victorious. I think he really should fight one more time. I think he should fight Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner is a joke. Everybody knows, including Adrian Broner. He sit up there and say that, oh, I don't want to be like Big Bro. I don't want to be like Floyd. That's a fucking lie. That's a lie. Your whole career, your whole style, up until now where you got this in Rick Ross looking shit, but still, your whole style, the whole way you act like he has Floyd's money. He doesn't. I looked that dude up. I think his net is like $3 million. Sure, I would love to have $3 million, and a lot of you probably would love to have $3 million, and then we can do a lot of great things with it. But he's spending the $3 million like he got Floyd money. Floyd is worth between what, 600 million, maybe 600 million, 650 million. I think something that I saw last week. I think it was. Floyd got the money. Floyd goes out and spend whatever this and that. It don't hurt him. Even though I feel like he should stop. He should slow down big time. You got the money, but don't be spending frivolously. And, you know, and he's always showing money, whatever this and that. And I like to see it, but he don't really have to. He should just stop it. But he gave the sport of boxing hope or something to look for. You know, something that we wasn't getting with the heavyweight class anymore. So, and all we got now is, I don't even really want to say Adrian Broner, because he's iffy. The last 3 years, he lost, what, 2 fights? He deserved it. Floyd came behind him and cleaned up on one of them. Maidana, he came behind and beat Maidana because Adrian couldn't do it, so shit, he did it. A lot of people say, hell, Floyd didn't win that fight. He won it, barely, but he won it. They put it like that. But anyway, to me, you can't fake boxing. The only way you can fake boxing is if you take a dive or something. You can't fake boxing. So to me, boxing is more real than wrestling. Wrestling may sell more. I don't know. Wrestling may sell more tickets. It may be more entertaining with the script and everything they have, but boxing is straightforward. So I don't really think boxing is so-called played out. It's just that we don't have a real hero anymore. Not too much. There's a lot of guys out there that can fight, but maybe they need to step it up. But will there ever be another Floyd Mayweather? No, we won't. And if so, not anytime soon. So anyway, in my opinion, boxing is better than wrestling, because I don't watch wrestling anymore because it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's stupid. Boxing, I'm cool with boxing. Boxing more real. I can watch that. It's not that fake. Wrestling, you need to get more real, especially on your skills or whatever. But anyway, that's been my take or my debate or my argument on old school wrestling versus new school wrestling and wrestling versus boxing. So, if you guys have an opinion, which I know you should, or I know you do, go ahead and drop comments in below. Subscribe and like my video and just support me. And I'll be coming out with some more vlogs for you.